Hi VC, Dale Gatefold 33. I just made a contest entry video. I'm just now back to do a very short recent finds video. I say recent finds, so these are new 7-inch singles, or 7-inch singles that I have acquired this year. I don't buy a lot, so there are only 6, and it's now nearly September. So, yeah. So, and it's a real mixed affair. So start with the first one, and it's even darker outside now. Rating. So this is French band Legre, who are a sort of garage psych band, and these are Milk Cow Blues and So Long, two kind of garage stompers. It's a mono press, flip back sleeve. I don't know how limited it was, but yeah, bought these. Most of these I bought, I think, as a result of the lockdown and the Bandcamp they have once a month the Bandcamp Fridays where they waive fees, so the artist gets all the money. And so I've scoured around all the kind of artists that I follow, who've kind of notified me of what they have coming out, and always try and do something to obviously, so I can lose money and they can get money, particularly in this lockdown period. So, but yeah, Legre, I've got their debut album, or their last album certainly, on vinyl. It's a fantastic garage psych album. So yeah, so happy to pick this single up. It's on State Records if you're interested. Next, yeah, this is definitely a Bandcamp Friday release. Oops, comes a little bits and bobs in it. So this is this was a I want to say Wayside Woodland, certainly a Sprotely Smith. So I follow a lot of sort of UK folk psych artists that are a bit as a kind of a bit of a collective. So I do lose track about which is which, because they collaborate a lot on each other's material. Yeah, and a lot of it only comes out digitally or on CD. I will do a feature on some of the CDs that I've got in the future. But this was a 7-inch single of 2 artists. So the Woodbine and Ivy Band and Sprotely Smith, both doing versions of Gently Johnny from the Wicker Man soundtrack. So Paul Giovanni, who originally did it. So yeah, so you know, if you're familiar with the Gently Johnny song, it's a bit of a kind of freak folk type affair. But yeah, this was a limited, obviously fairly homemade say release, put out for, I think it was either put out for Bandcamp, or the artist found some spare copies, because I think it came out a few years ago originally, and the artist found some spare copies, you know, under the bed or whatever, and therefore put some out on a Bandcamp Friday, and I bought one, shall I say. This is also definitely a limited, I think 300 copy Bandcamp, and this is Matthew Wholesale Gondwana Orchestra put out a limited 300, as I said, press single. So it's the Matthew Wholesale and the Gondwana Orchestra featuring Josephine Oniyama, and it's 2 songs, As I Walk and Badder Weather, both fantastic songs. So jazz songs with vocals, beautiful vocals, great songs, particularly As I Walk. So yeah, really happy to get this. So yeah, I've got a lot of Matthew Wholesale. It tends to be instrumental, so this was sort of a nice, slightly different approach. Now, so this was a weird one. This wasn't a Bandcamp sort of inspired purchase. So I think it was certainly Universal had a summer sale, or whatever they call their sort of label, and you know, Universal Music have cover a lot of labels now. They've bought most of the world's records up, and they were doing a sale, and I was flicking through the stuff, and I came across a single that I absolutely love and want. And again, Sod's Law with Dale, it's rare, quite rare, and so I wasn't prepared to pay out, you know, I think £30-40 I'd have had to pay out to get a nice copy. And it's by an artist you wouldn't expect, or I wouldn't have expected to have bought. So this was there for a £5, I think, and I was buying it with another album. The album subsequently was damaged and went back, but I kept a single. So it is, having built it up, it is the song Chills and Fever by Tom Jones. Yes, Tom Jones, the 60s artist. This is an absolutely fantastic sort of, I mean, he goes berserk, bonkers on this. He really does. He's you know, squealing and real stomper single. So yeah, Tom Jones, Chills and Fever. I think you can find a version of it on YouTube to sample, but yeah, having the kind of mono single, you can crank it up, is really good. So in certainly my last video, or one of my last few videos, I was responding to Richard McCook's 20 Greatest Hits albums, and I showed in there Garnet Muss, and I talked about the fact that I only had that because one of his songs is probably my all-time favourite song, but the singles are £300 or £400. Well, recently on eBay, which is not a place I often venture, they've been advertising, or a company called Soul Wax has been advertising that song on 7-inch vinyl. Clearly it's a bootleg. It's a single-sided, so you know, it's a single-sided Garnet Muss, As Long As I Have You. It's okay. I mean, I don't know what the source, what material was. It certainly wasn't the original analog tapes, but you know, I think it was £15 including shipping, so still a bit of a rip-off for a bootleg, but better than £400 for an original. And then finally, this was another Bandcamp purchase. So I do like the Killing Eve TV series. I've watched all 3 series so far. I think they're kind of gradually reducing in quality, but certainly the first series is fantastic, and both the other 2 have been very enjoyable. And they put out a single, sort of a little, that says Heavenly on Heavenly Recordings. So the band Unloved did a lot of the music in the Killing Eve, and I do have their a couple of their albums, Unloved. But this single is Strange Effects. So that was in the last series. I think it was in the last series. So cover of the Ray Davies Kinks song Strange Effect, and an original Unloved song Why Not. So yeah, pick that up, very enjoyable. So that's it, 6, as I say, very different releases. As I say, I don't buy many, but yeah, so I'll stop there. Cheers, bye.